I was like, who's this version of Taylor? And I said, the one we've been birthing for the past, I was like talking to myself, for the past 3 years. The one who's known that this is what it was going to be. Hello, everybody. Welcome on back to the Taylor Nardone Podcast. You guys, I am so happy to have you here as always. Welcome back. Welcome back. So today's episode, kind of like the last one that we had, is going to be one that let me say this. This is my goal for this page. Okay. My goal is that you guys have a collection of episodes that will stand the test of time, that you can go back to when you're having a moment, when you're having a day, when you need a reminder, when you need that pick me up, whether it's the inspiration, the letting go, the motivation, right? And this is a core concept that I really want to chat about today, because I think it's something in all of our journeys that we either don't talk about enough anymore, or social media has kind of just glossed over it, right? They've presented us with a different picture. And it's the concept of what I call quiet consistency, quiet and calm consistency. Because let me tell you something, a couple years back when I had taken my massive leap of faith, right? And I had left my job. If you guys don't know that whole story, I'm sure there's an episode on that. But I had left my job. I kind of jumped into the unknown, didn't really know what I was doing. A lot of it at the beginning, there was this excitement that I think God had placed in me by design. And that excitement was thrilling. I was very motivated. I was excited. There was something new that I felt like I was stepping into. But it's interesting because I'm now a few years into having launched my own coaching business, which ended up happening about a year into that journey. And it's been so incredible. It's been beautiful. It's been rewarding. It's been difficult. It's been all of the things that you experience as an entrepreneur. But the part that people don't talk about is that quiet, calm consistency, that sustainable success, which is really what you're going for. And we actually touched on this last week, okay, in last week's podcast episode. But this is going to be a staple episode that I want you guys to remind yourself of when you feel like the world is showing you instant. Let me tell you something right now. God plays the long-term game with us, not the short-term. Long-term, not short-term. There's a gestation period for everything. Now listen, some things can happen overnight or instantaneous, but should we live our lives always assuming that that's how it's going to happen? I don't know about that. I don't think so. I think we miss a lot of the importance, right, of putting your head down and doing the work. Now listen, let yourself be surprised, because you're correct. You never know what could happen. That's a good thing. It's good that you don't know what's going to happen, okay? And it's good that you can be surprised, but get your hands dirty in the meantime. There's a time to let go and a time to allow certain thoughts and thought patterns that we do want to change. So we allow ourselves to let go and to refocus our energy and effort, okay, on the things that not only we can control, but the things that we should be putting effort towards. Caring for ourselves, getting into your spiritual discipline, being of service. When we have an invitation to let go, it's to let go of the things that we genuinely can't control that really are in God's hands. But what's our job? If we know that we can't control the entire outcome of all that, you know what I'm talking about, the huge, massive, big pieces down the road, that really is in God's hands, then why are we placing energy towards that, focusing on that? Why would we do that? It's not just what you can control right now. It's also getting used to saying, if you're on a specific journey and you're building something or you're working towards something, I mentioned this a couple episodes back. I said, when you look back at a time in your life and when you were in it, you were in the thick of it, but then you look back and you kind of speak about it nonchalantly, right? Because as more time goes on, you look at things with a different zoomed out, chunked lens. You're like, oh yeah, that was a chunk of years. Well, you're in one of those right now. It doesn't diminish the significance. But if we're playing the long-term game, we have to zoom out. When I looked at my own journey of what I've been up to and what I've been doing, and the fact that I've been in this business now, my business, for 2 years, and I have plenty of goals, plenty. But when I look at it, I go, wait a minute. I'm not viewing that from the lens of, oh my God, it's been 2 years. I'm viewing it from the lens of, wow, it has only been 2 years. Actually, let me go back and let me think about the beginning of this process of my own personal and very, spiritual awakening about 3 years ago. That was nuts. I mean, that began a wild journey for me. I was in such a different place in my life at that time. And I made a little video of this. I didn't post it, but This morning, I went to the gym. I did my resistance training. Shout out to my trainer, Jackson. And it only took about a half hour. Today was kind of a shorter workout. So then I went home, and I'm currently in the process of doing couch to 5K. You know, we're almost there. And so I said, all right, let me go on a run. I was like, who's this version of Taylor? And I said, the one we've been birthing for the past, I was like talking to myself, for the past 3 years. The one who's known that this is what it was going to be. But let me tell you, there have been so many moments, even on my fitness journey, I've gone, man, I'm really in it. I'm banging my head against the wall. God always knew and always had the plan. And every time I showed up, I was planting a seed. Do not discount showing up. Just keep on showing up. But what's your metric of success? Are you looking every day? Are you looking for something instant in that moment? Long-term, not short-term. What does it mean to play the long-term game, not the short-term game? Long-term, not short-term. Keep at it. Of course, we need to have goals. Of course, we need to analyze where things are going, but you can't zoom in close enough and change something the minute that something isn't going the way that you please. We have to keep staying the course. That's the consistency. Keep watering the seeds that you've planted. Change course when necessary, or pivot or mold, accordingly. But don't forget, about the consistency piece. And then I'm going to throw this in there too. That process, the consistency, is not always exciting. So when I was talking about my own journey at the beginning, yeah, it was exciting. And now I'm at a point where it's very settled. And it's okay, Taylor. Do the work. Put your head down and work. There's a time. There's a time for all things. There's a season for all things. And that consistency, that work, is not thrilling all the time. And it doesn't have to be. In fact, dare I say, when we normalize showing up and putting in that level of effort, you are normalizing yourself into that chapter. You are acclimating into that new chapter. So what is it going to take for you today to normalize yourself into this new chapter? When you start to break through and you move through some of those belief systems, that's just the beginning. Now you have to place yourself. This is what I do in my coaching program. Then we talk about the next level version of you. You have to place yourself in that chapter. But if your metric of success is 1 week, then, oh my God, if I look back at this journey now and I say, oh my God, over the past 3 years, I'm like, damn, that actually moved quite fast. But as we talked about last week, what type of change do you want? Do you want the quick change? Or do you want the change that lasts through all seasons? Deep roots planted. That's what we want to go for. Or I would encourage you to, at least. Zoom out. Zoom out for a second. Look at the bigger picture. And genuinely ask yourself, you know what? If I'm building something, so now I'm speaking kind of specifically to anyone, whether it's a business, whatever it is, are we thinking about the 5-year plan? Of course it's going to change. But are we thinking about that a little bit? Dare you say 10 years? Have you given yourself the permission and the space to properly build what it is, you're looking to build and you're looking to do? What is it asking of you? Are you giving that right now? Is the dream and the vision matching the work that you are putting in? This does not mean, you guys know this, I'm not an advocate for, and I think I said this last week, for the constant hustle, don't sleep, that's not sustainable, right? Sustainable success, that's what we're going for. So dare I say, we find some joy in the quiet, calm consistency, dare I say, in all things, personal, career, let it be calm. Social media has a way of telling us that everything's exciting all the time. And I just did this and I just made this. Okay, that's great. Okay, cool. Awesome. But what about the person who gets drowned out, who was like, hey, I actually worked at this really consistently and I'm going to show you guys incrementally how this has grown. And it took me about 10 years or it took me about 5 years. Find those people. Because more often than not, that's the journey we're being pushed into. And that's not a bad thing. Would it be good for us to have it all at once? I mean, could you handle it? It kind of bypasses the personal development that God is probably trying to work us through when we do that, right? It's not just about what you achieve and do for the sake of service, yourself, all of that. It's not about that. It's also about, in addition to that, it's also about who you become in the process. That takes time. That takes experience. That takes moments of failure so that you are able to then, pivot your path. Or change the way you're looking at something. You're given those experiences at the right time for you to work through. It's all working for you and with you, right? But you have to let it. And part of letting it is letting it pan out time-wise. So then that's what I say. What do we do in the meantime? Put your head down. Let's get to work and go enjoy life. It's like ordering an Amazon package and, God's promised this. And is it here? Is it here? Is it here? No, it has. There's a specific time, right? You wouldn't do that. If there was a package being delivered, you wouldn't sit on your doorstep probably today. right? Waiting, you'd say, okay, well, I know this is being delivered at some point, right? It's not exactly what we think. It's not about that, but it's trusting that whatever is delivered is going to be absolutely beautiful and also at the right time. Also at the right time, right? So then what beliefs do we have to embody to get us down, to get our nervous system back, okay, and down and regulated into a place where we can say, this is working for me. All is well. Let me enjoy life as I do this work. Because that's really the key. Focus on what you can do today, right? Yes, we make all the goals. We just talked about that before. It's very important, okay? But focus on what you're doing today in this moment, okay? Be of service. Go help someone. Work, right? Water the seeds that you're planting and enjoy life. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I think this is another good one. I guess I say that after every episode. I don't know. Feels great when I'm recording them. Anyways, we'll talk very soon. Love you guys immensely. And as always, all is well.